right, I understand the from my bailiff, Deputy Washington, that the jury has reached a verdict.
Yes, Your Honor, and obviously Mr. Durst is not here. We object to the court receiving the verdict, but in the absence of the defendant, pursuant to California Penal Code Section 1148.
Mr. Lewin?
I think, Your Honor, the court is aware. The authority gives the court the discretion in unusual circumstances, certain unusual circumstances. I can cite the case. One of them is Lewis. The court wants an exact citation. It's a 2006, if I remember, Cal Supreme Court case. These are certainly in that situation. If I recall, there are two defendants in that situation. One of them had been shot and was critically ill. The other one had not been. It was unclear what his reason was, but at the end, the court was very clear that it's up to the court, and that in this situation, as the court previously pointed out, there's no constitutional requirement that he is to hear. And because we have issues with these jurors, particularly juror number 12, leaving for a week, that would certainly qualify in terms of issues with the jury. And we think would, in the interest of justice and these circumstances required, submitted.
I want to make sure that the record is clear, and the court, I'm sure, is aware. It's not Mr. Durst's choice not to be here. He is in isolation as a result of exposure to one of his drivers that apparently was tested positive for COVID. We expect to have results of his testing momentarily, but it is not his choice to be absent. In fact, he wants to be here, and we want to be here, and so we object to going forward.
All right, thank you. Of course, the court is familiar with People versus Lewis and Oliver. That's 39 Cal 4th, 970. And the case law makes it clear that it's not a matter of choice or fault. It is simply a matter of whether it is in the interest of justice to take a verdict under the circumstances in the defendant's absence. In Lewis and Oliver, the court held, invoking Section 1148, the trial court determined that the interest of justice required departure from the general rule that the verdict must be received in the presence of the defendant. Under any applicable standard, the ruling was substantiated and sound. The court learned during jury deliberations that Oliver was in critical condition. When the jury later announced it had reached a verdict, the court knew that his condition was still dire. He was in intensive care. The length of Oliver's incapacitation could not be known at the time, and that's what we have here. Hence, a delay in announcing the verdict might have disrupted the proceedings and resulted in the loss of jurors. Here, the defendant is isolated due to exposure to COVID. He's been tested. We don't know the results. He could be quarantined longer if he indeed was infected. Our judicial emergency, which I've invoked throughout these proceedings, this judicial emergency is still in effect. The pandemic persists. COVID infections are prevalent. This is an example of how quickly this may happen. The court is aware of the imminent loss of a juror on Monday and the potential for a loss of any of our jurors on account of pandemic conditions, unless the verdict is taken immediately. The absence of any juror confirming his or her verdict would render that verdict a nullity under Penal Code Section 1147, 1163, and 1164 in People versus Green, 31 Cal 4th, 1001. We can't take the chance that all this work on everyone's part would be wasted. In the interest of justice, I will take the verdict under 1148. It's clearly specified that I may. Under these circumstances, we made an effort. We were informed this morning he could not come. We checked again this afternoon and confirmed they will not bring him here. It's not safe to do so. And so we will proceed. Your objections noted.
Your Honor, was the total deliberation time, am I correct, that it's 7.5 hours?
I don't know, Mr. Lewin.
Oh, okay.
That's probably correct. Sounds about right.
All right.
So let's inquire the jurors directly. If they do have a verdict, we'll inspect to see whether they in fact have a verdict. Please be seated. Back, ladies and gentlemen. We stand up for our persons, jury number 12. Yes? And has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
May you please hand it to our bailiff? clerk will please read the verdict.
Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, the people of the state of California versus Robert Durst. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Robert Durst, guilty of the crime of first-degree murder of Susan Berman in violation of Penal Code Section 187, subsection a felony as charged in count 1 of the information. We further find the allegation that in the commission of the above offense, that Susan Berman was a witness to a crime and was intentionally killed because of the fact within the meaning of Penal Code Section 190.2, subsection A, subsection 10, to be true. We further find the allegation that in the commission of the above offense, that the defendant, Robert Durst, intentionally killed Susan Berman by means of lying in wait within the meaning of Penal Code Section 190.2, subsection A, subsection 15, to be true. We further find the allegation that the defendant, Robert Durst, personally and intentionally used a firearm, to wit, a handgun, within the meaning of Penal Code Section 12022.53, subsection B, to be true. We further find the allegation that the defendant, Robert Durst, personally and intentionally discharged a firearm, to wit, a handgun, within the meaning of Penal Code Section 12022.53, subsection C, to be true. We further find the allegation that the defendant, Robert Durst, personally and intentionally discharged a firearm, to wit, a handgun, which caused great bodily injury and death to Susan Berman, within the meaning of Penal Code Section 12022.53, subsection D, to be true. This 17th day of September 2021, juror number 12. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this from your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Does either side wish to poll the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please poll the jury.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as I say your number, please answer yes or no. Juror number 1, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 2,
Yes.
juror number 3,
Yes.
juror number 4,
Yes.
juror number 5,
Yes.
juror number 6,
Yes.
juror number 7,
Yes.
juror number 8,
Yes.
juror number 9,
Yes.
juror number 10,
Yes.
juror number 11,
Yes.
juror number 12.
Yes.
Your Honor, they have all answered in the affirmative.
Thank you. Just a moment. Clerk, so the clerk will please record the verdicts. Does counsel waive reading of the verdict as reported?
Yes.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now completed your jury service in this case. On behalf of all of the judges of the court, please accept my thanks for your time and effort. Now that the case is over, you have the absolute right to either discuss or not to discuss the juror deliberations or verdict with anyone. You may choose whether or not to discuss the case in your deliberations with anyone, your choice. I remind you that under California law, you must wait at least 90 days before negotiating or agreeing to accept any payment for information about the case. that's possible in this case. I've not seen it in my previous cases, but that is possible, so it's something for you to consider seriously. Let me tell you about some rules the law puts in place for your convenience and protection. The lawyers in this case, or their representatives, may now talk to you about the case, including your deliberations or verdict. Those discussions must occur at a reasonable time and place and with your consent. This morning, the counsel asked me if I would let you know that they do wish to speak with you. Again, it's your decision when to speak with them or whether or not you speak with counsel, but they would appreciate it. Please tell me immediately if anyone unreasonably contacts you without your consent. Anyone who violates these rules is violating a court order and may be fined. I now order that the court's record of personal juror identifying information, including names, addresses, and telephone numbers, be sealed until further order of this court. If in the future the court is asked to decide whether this information would be released, notice would first be sent to any juror whose information is involved. You may oppose the release of this information and ask that any hearing on the release be closed to the public. The court will decide whether and under what conditions any information may be disclosed. I have arranged for your concluding paperwork with the jury room to be delivered to you here. And to that end, I will invite you to remain here in our jury deliberation room. I'll invite our alternates to join and catch up with the other 12 whom you haven't been able to talk with after months of being together. So I'll invite you all, and I think maybe you all can fit. Some might have to stand, but just for a few minutes while we get the juror paperwork ready for you. I've taken the liberty of, and I've been invited by media outlets to provide you with contact information so that you may speak with them, and that's your choice, and you may exercise it by contacting them. Likewise, I've taken the liberty of providing the contact information for all counsel so that you may speak with them if you choose to do so. So you have that opportunity. I'm inviting you to the jury room, but I am now going to officially thank you for your service, and it's, I'll miss you. I really am so proud of this group. This is a group that had no idea, no one had an idea that there would be a pandemic. You knew you were in for long service. No one knew that you would be in for not only a trial as long as we anticipated, but a 14-month delay before we really got off the ground. So I'm amazed and so proud of you for all coming back and then sticking with it. You all have made such sacrifices, and I've talked with you, some of you individually, about really extraordinary sacrifices, other sacrifices you'll never know. But you've done that for your community to do justice in an important case. And my admiration for you is profound. You folks are the best. So again, I thank you for your service. I'll excuse you to the jury deliberation room, but your service is now.
And we thank you also.
You met people as well.
All right, counsel, I need to set a time for further proceedings. The court intends to set this for the 20th court day for sentencing, which is the rule by statute. That is October 18th. order you to appear. I'll order Mr. Durst to appear. I will order the sentencing report. And I will also make the following order. The defendant is directed to file a statement of assets under 1203.1M of the Penal Code, and the probation department is directed to investigate that. I will welcome input from the people as well. The sentencing hearing, Mr. Lewin, wouldn't take more than a day, would it?
No, Your Honor, I can't imagine. It's my belief that it's a mandatory sentence. There's very little for us to say or argue.
Just the same.
The court.
Yes. We're going to do it in department. Thank you.
81.
Yes, Deputy Washington reminds me that he and I at least are going home. So we're gonna
That's the
see.
18th at 9 a.m., Your Honor.
That is at 9 a.m. on the
Thank you.
18th of October. Any other orders I need to make between this time and? All right, defendant's already held without bail. That will continue when they go into the airport courthouse on that date.
They would be excused.
I'll excuse you, but first I need to again compliment you. I've been so privileged to have the best seat in the House for the most extraordinary trial I've ever had, that I've ever seen or even heard about. There are other trials that I suppose are that rival it, but the complexity of this case, the diligence of the preparation, and the beauty of your language, of your argumentation for me was a peak experience. You did extraordinary. I know that you're at a time right now on the defense side where you're very disappointed, but so nevertheless, I'm taking this moment to extend that to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And both sides, the people I've already explained, the extraordinary preparation, I think, was remarkable.
Your Honor, and I know I certainly speak for the people on this case. There were an inordinate amount of legal issues and motions for the court to address, very complex. The court, we could have asked for more in terms of you really being diligent, going through everything. I think the defense couldn't have asked for any more, because I think even when you had ruled, you always gave both sides, and particularly because your rulings tended to follow the law and be in the prosecution's favor, you allowed numerous relitigations. I don't think either side could have asked for any more. We are definitely appreciative and appreciate all the cooperation from not just the court, but the staff as well. So thank you on behalf of the people.
Staff is extraordinary, and I thank our staff. Robin, and yes, and yeah.
Thank you for your patience with all of it.
Now, as far as speaking with jurors, as I said, I gave them your numbers. I gave Dick shared his card, and I had your phone number. So I've given that to them if they want to call you. So we do have jurors who'd like to speak with you, so I will. I'll take a moment to see if that's a place where that can take place.
Can the court inquire the jury? We would prefer to speak to them privately,
Yes.
without the defense. They can certainly speak to them as well, but the conversation that we would like to have with them, we feel that it'll certainly be easier for them to have a discussion with us if the defense is not there. So that is our...
It's their option, or who they want to talk
Right.
to.
I just want to make sure they understand that's what we're requesting. They don't
Okay.
think that they're going to be sitting down with all of us.
All right, we'll direct them to that's what
Thank you,
the
Your Honor.
request is, if they want to speak with you and with the
Thank you.
defense.
And Your Honor, finally, on Monday, it's our intention to kind of
clean up the rest of this. Do you know, is this court going to be back in session as a traffic court anytime soon? I'm assuming not.
You know, at the beginning, I said all murder cases on this side of the room and also cases on that side of the room. It's, I understand it's not going back to traffic right away.
Okay. So is it
So
okay?
You should be able to come in next week, I think,
All right, thank you.
and remove your material.
Thank you.
All right, I guess,
We will stay here for a moment to hear what they want to do, I assume.
very well. So I've made the orders I need to make. Department 1 is adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll move that.